question 15 here now, and what we have is the following function. Now this function here, it's basically it's g of x, which you could, for argument's sake, you could treat it like an f and x, or some people tend to call it y equals a half minus a quarter x. Either way, we can input this into our calculator. Starts at -2, ends at 4, and we're going to go up in a step of 1. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do mode table function. We're going to do a half. If I can remember how to use this calculator. A half minus a quarter x. Okay. I'm going to start at -2. I'm going to end at 4. I'm going to do a step of 1. And you can see the following points here. Here are the points I can use. -2, 1, -1, 0.75, 0.5, 1, 1.25, 2, 0. Now there's two of them that are whole numbers. See the point -2, 1, which is this one here. And see the other point, which is, what's the other point? 0, 2, isn't it? So the other point is 2, 0. I'm just going to start off with those 2 points first. Okay, so I'm going to use my GeoGebra package here. Okay, I'm going to draw my graph this way. So what we said earlier was there's 2 points. It was 2, 0 and -2, 1. So I'm going to look for those points now. -2, 1 is located here, and 2, 0 is located here. Just double check. Yep, perfect. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a point between both lines, hopefully a line segment, like so. Now, you may not think of the other points here, but the other points are here. It's where it hits the line. So that's point C, that's point D, and that's point E. Saves you having to draw them all out individually. Now, there is another way of doing it. The other way of doing it is you can make your scale a bit bigger. Okay, so I'll give you an example. You can make your scale on this axis. See the way it only goes up in ones? You can make it go up in halves and numbers like that, and that will make it a bit easier to draw if you really want to go at it like that. See the way each block goes up in 0.2 now? So you can get a more accurate graph that way if you really want. I'd say do what start off with A, then do the first point and the last point. Do any points that have whole numbers, then just draw the line and dot them in accordingly, okay? Okay guys, now we're going to go for another one. I'm just going to undo all this hard work here. Try and go back to where we started. Okay, now we're on to the next question. Now the next question is, draw the line f of x equals x minus 6 and g of x equals -2x in the following domain. So it's going to be fx equals x minus 6, otherwise known as y equals x minus 6. And the other one could be g of x equals -2x, otherwise known as y equals -2x, otherwise known as 2x plus y equals 0 when I move the 2x to the other side. Likewise, this one here is, if I move the x to the left, it's going to be -x plus y equals -6. If I multiply both sides by minus, it's going to be x minus y equals 6. All these represent the same line. That represents the same line as that, represents the same line as that. While g equals -2x is the same line as y equals -2x, and it's the same line as 2x plus y equals 0. Okay, now what we're going to do next is we're going to get points for these two graphs. Okay, so I'm going to use my cheap trick one more time. I'm going to use f of x, so I have to do from -1 to 0. So I'm going to get in my x there. There it is. X minus 6, no bother. Then the start is -1. The end is 5. Step of 1, and you can see all these points here. So if my starting point is -1, -7, and my end one is -1, -7, and 5, -1. -1, -7, and 5, -1. So check this out, right? So I'm going to go for -1, -7. Now, whoa, gotta undo that. Okay, so gonna look for -1, -7. -1, -7 is located here. Yeah, great. Just give me my point, please. Thank you. Get. So there's -1, -7 located there. The other point I was looking at was 5 -1, which I'm hoping is here. Now if I join both points together in a line segment, like so, there it is there. And what I can do is just dot off the other points really quickly. C, D, E, F. Oh, the last one's wrong. There, and there's all my points for that first line. Okay. Next thing I'm going to go is go to the next part and do the g of x equals -2x. So once again, this time I'm going to use -2x and not go anywhere. Start at -1, end at 5. Step of 1. I'm going to use -1, 2, which is this one here. And for the other one, I'm going to use the furthest point down, which is 5 -10. Okay, -1, 2, and 5 -10. So here's what we're looking at. So -1, 2 is located here, and the other one is -5 -10, which is a good bit of the way down. Okay, so I'm going to go as far as here. 5 across, -10 down, which is located here. Then if I get these two lines and I link them together, and then we can see the point of intersection, which is here. Point of intersection is 2 and -4, but I should probably also put in the other points on this graph here. So there's one point, there's the other point. You can see they both have a point in common, so there's the 4 points for that graph. You just go across one every time. Now we know the answer is 2 -4. That's no bother. Just one more time. Yeah, it's 2 -4. So the point of intersection is 2 -4. Next, I'm going to do a simultaneous equation where we're going to mix this equation here, so about the top one, with this equation here. Or maybe I just need to put it underneath it. Yeah, like this. So this part onwards. Okay, so down here, add straight downwards. 2x plus x is 3x, plus y take a y is 6. 6 divided by 3, because it's multiplication of 3, which is division of 3 on the multiplication tree on the left is division of 3 on the right. Then we get x equals 2. We can sub it back in here, okay, or into either one of them. So we can sub it into the I'll sub it into the top one. So 2 times 2 plus y equals 0. 2 times is 2. 4 plus y equals 0. This implies y has to equal -4, which gives us the point 2 -4, which we already knew to be the answer. Okay, question 17. Question 17 is very similar to question 16. F of x equals 2x minus 1. Might as well be the formula y equals 2x minus 1. Bring the 2x to the left and you get minus 2x plus y equals -1. Multiply both sides by minus, and we get this. So what I'm basically trying to tell you here is that when you draw this line, what you're actually doing is you're drawing that line. They're the same thing. Okay, then we're going to go to g of x, which equals 2 minus x. Then we replace g of x with y, because y is the output. Bring the x out the other side, and we're going to get x plus y equals 2, because minus x on the right, when it moves to the left, is a plus x. Now, I got to draw these two graphs from -2 up to 3. Once again, I'm just going to do my little trick here. Whoa. And my trick is to do 2x minus 1. I'm starting at -2 and I'm ending at 3. Step of 1. Look at my first point, which is -2, -5. Look at my second, look at my furthest down point, which is 3, 5. Oh, sorry, -2, -5, and +3, +5 to my knowledge. Yep. So -2, -5, and 3, 5. So let's see if we can get a new one. Don't save. So let's go from -2, -5, which is here. Let's go for 3, 5, which is up here. Just check out my numbers, -2, -5, and 3, 5. That's perfect. This is this line here. Here to here, no bother. There's your first line done. You can dot them in if you want. Next one we're going to do is we're going to do the second line, which is g of x equals 2 minus x. So we get back out the calculator. I'll just put a minus in there, 2 minus x now. Then press equal, start at -2, end at 3, step at 1. And I'm going for -2 and 4. And then the other point I'd be looking for is 3 minus 1. -2, 4, and 3 minus 1. So -2, 4, and finally 3 minus 1. Always double check. We're all good. Should be able to draw that line now pretty handy. Like so. There's the point of intersection, is going to be 1, 1. So this is the point 1, 1. Now, we're going to solve a simultaneous equation by working these two formula together. So this one here, and hopefully, no, they're still attached. So it's going to be the 2x minus y equals 1. And here's what we're hoping to get. 2x plus x is 3x, minus y plus y cancels, equals 3. This 3 here becomes division of 3 when it moves from left to right. This means x equals 1. Now we also know that x plus y is 2, so 1 plus y must equal 2. This implies y also equals 1. So this means y equals 1, which is the point 1, 1 as verified. Okay guys, that's it. That's 15, 16, and 17.